I appreciate your comments about the lack of flexibility to exclude products. Does the Commission have the sufficient authority under the law to exempt producers of textiles and textile products from the lead testing requirements in the Act? It's your opinion that you do not.
Well, what we have done with respect to a category of products that includes natural textiles like wool and virgin wool and cotton and that kind of thing is we have rather pushed the limits of the law and said we are going to exclude them from the testing requirements. So that's natural fabrics. We've also included certain kinds of other products that by definition don't and cannot have lead. But that's really as far as we can go.
Okay. And how does the stay of enforcement on testing and certification requirements help the retail and wholesale industries, since they are still liable under this Act if they do have goods that exceed the lead limits and are subject to the enforcement action, say, of attorney generals?
Well, as I mentioned, stays of enforcement are not the optimal way to regulate or to enforce laws, but it was really the only technique that we had available to us. We were hearing from many small businesses that they just were not ready to start issuing certifications, especially certifications based on the testing requirement in the law. That is a very stringent requirement. It is going to be very expensive, and it was just very clear that people were not ready to meet the requirements in the timelines in the law. So we did stay enforcement, but we made very clear that we don't have the authority to stay the underlying requirement of the law. So they are still liable, potentially, if they sell something that has more than 600 parts per million of lead in it.
Mr. Chairman, according to the authors of the legislation, the authors believe that the Commission has sufficient authority to rectify the concerns of small businesses. But what is the legal basis for the Commission to arrive at a different conclusion than this? The legal authority.
I've heard that said. What isn't said is any examples of where in the law we have that flexibility. Instead, we can point to many examples where we explicitly don't have the flexibility. And again, as we worked through the drafting process during conference, it was made quite clear that flexibility was not what was being granted to the Commission. I can go through and give you any number of examples of where the Commission's authorities have been cabined so tightly that we really cannot respond to the real-world situations that are coming up. And I think that is unfortunate. It is impacting small businesses much more adversely than others, and it really doesn't advance product safety.
Would you please provide the committee examples in writing where these restrictions keep you from doing that?
I would be delighted to do that.
That'd be great for us to have that in this committee.
Thank you.